time for the final installment of the original Pokemon card ranking and review series. There are only 5 cards left to sort out before the best one's revealed. Also, there's a special announcement at the end of this video, so remember to stay tuned for that. Let's get right into it with card number 5.
Number 5, Wigglytuff. This guy is pretty tough depending on what your bench looks like. It still has Lullaby, which is an alright option, especially if you're trying to stall for energy input or waiting to build your bench up for Do the Wave. Now, Do the Wave is an interesting attack, one of the best in the game. Don't let the 10 base damage deceive you. For 3 colorless energies, you can deal a maximum of 60 damage. Quite a tough force indeed. Unfortunately, there are cons with having a huge bench, like if your opponent has a gust of wind or other bench targeting attacks, but the pros outweigh the cons because Do the Wave is an awesome attack and is both cost effective and deadly. Wigglytuff has a high enough HP to withstand several blows, while it brings them right back, and its normal type versatility was greatly appreciated, along with its psychic resistance. Don't let that goofy dancing balloon fool you, this guy will knock you out. Number 4, Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is very easy to analyze. It's a basic Pokemon, has a 1 energy attack that does 20 damage, has the potential to do 40 unconditional damage for 3 energies, and has 70 HP. Imagine going up against this card with that Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle you love. They would never have a chance against this fighter. Hitmonchan is just about undefeatable in an opening matchup. The only limitation it has is it going up against something with a fighting resistance, which a fair number of great cards had, like the legendary birds or Scyther. If it was placed in a situation like that, its retreat cost wasn't horrible, but at the same time it's wasteful and time consuming to have to do that. This card took a lot of strategy out of the game. Its undeniably affordable, high damaging attack made it easy for anyone to use. Sadly, it was successfully walled by many flying type cards, which holds it back from perfection and being even higher up on this list. But regardless, it's an excellent card that saw a ton of use for good reason. Number 3, Electabuzz, the second of the broken base set powerhouses. Electabuzz is amazing for a basic card and earns some uniqueness by being able to cause potential paralysis for the 1 energy Thunder Shock. Thunder Punch is the upgrade designed to make quick work of all those defenseless, cute first stage Pokemon. For 2 energies, Electabuzz can potentially do 40 damage, 30 at a minimum. The 50% chance of the 10 damage recoil doesn't often matter, as it's such a minuscule repercussion, and you'll probably have the opportunity to take out 2 to 3 cards, depending on how weak your opponent's deck is. Electabuzz is a nightmare for all the Krabbies, Horseys, and Staryus in the Pokemon world. It has 70 HP, which is absurdly high given its devastating and low-costing attacks. While Electabuzz also has to deal with Pokemon with an electric resistance, looking back on this list, it can easily be determined that most of those Pokemon were below average or mediocre. Electabuzz easily outclasses nearly every other first stage card with its ridiculous statistics, making it one of the most sought after and implemented cards from the original set. Number 2, Scyther. Yup, here it is, only the second best card in the game, which is still amazing. So how does Scyther compare to its peers? Well, it's a basic card and performs better than the vast majority of third stage Pokemon. Swords Dance is an alright preparation move, though it can be halted rather simply due to paralysis and other status effectors. Also, unless you're running a grass deck, you probably won't be able to use it, which doesn't really matter because Slash is awesome on its own. Scyther can be put in any deck and be an effective factor. With 3 energies, Scyther does 30 damage. Doesn't seem like much, but again, think about it. Any deck, water, electric, fire, this grass type can perfectly blend in and be played for a fairly quick and painful 30 damage. However, 3 energies can often take 3 turns to power up, unless you have a double colorless, so that's going to take 3 turns before Scyther can do any damage, which is a slight weakness. Also, very few cards can be taken out with just 30 damage, so Scyther would usually rely on either its first move or trainer cards to power it up. On the plus side, Scyther has a fighting resistance, further boosting its worth, as well as a free retreat cost, sealing its fate as a broken card. The 70 HP is outstanding too. Overall, Scyther is a wonderful and adaptable card that was an absolute necessity for just about every deck. Number 1, Blastoise. Here it is, in my opinion, the best Pokemon card in the original set. Blastoise is the force to be reckoned with, laughing in the face of energy removals and waiting turns to place energy. Energy conservation implementation was probably the biggest challenge in managing decks and winning matches, yet Blastoise's ability makes it into a non-issue, thereby allowing it to be an extremely vital card. Rain Dance is arguably the best Pokemon power in the entire base set. Its potential to run numerous options is enormous. Imagine getting Blastoise all powered up, ready to wreak havoc in one turn with a boosted 60 damage Hydro Pump. Without a doubt, this turtle leads both the strategy and power in any water-themed deck. You couldn't ask for a better card beyond Blastoise. Its retreat cost is high, but as it's nearly unbeatable, it wouldn't make much sense in most situations to even want to retreat it. Obviously, being a third stage isn't ideal, and it'll take at least 2 turns to play, but with the help of Pokemon Breeder, other trainer cards, and running an all Squirtle Evolution deck, it's easily managed. Its typing is also generally neutral, and it really only had a few cards to fear like Electabuzz and Zapdos. But Blastoise easily outclasses Electabuzz with higher HP and attack power, and Zapdos with infinitely better attack synergy and effects. Regardless, Hydro Pump is lethal. It's an attack that can OKO a Charizard, so that's gotta count for something. Even with just the necessary 3 water energies, it's still powerful, but with 5 it's gonna take out the majority of Pokemon, making for a quick and easy takedown. With an extraordinary HP, a top-notch attack, a premier Pokemon power, and with no withdrawal move in sight, Blastoise earns the crown of best card from the original set.
Well, that's it for this series. Kudos to Blastoise for winning it all. So bad news to my 3 subscribers out there. This will be my last scripted video. YouTube decided to take away my ad revenue due to its new absurd requirements, all thanks to that man-child degenerate who filmed a dead body. To be fair, this gimmick was pretty silly and didn't have much room to take off. I guess there's nothing left to do but take off this idiotic mask once and for all.